everybody, and welcome to Book Talks with Sandy. I am so excited to have with me on tonight as a guest host, the phenomenal international best-selling author. He is part of my Walk Past Hell men's version too. And so I am delighted to have him here. Listen, guys, thank you guys for staying here with me. Listen, Albert, thank you so much for saying yes and being here with me. How you doing?
I'm doing well. Thank you for this opportunity to share the stage with you. And yes, Cage Fight was also another one of the books that I wrote. That was the international bestseller. And then My Walk Past Hell, men's edition, was another. That was an Amazon bestseller. So been on your show before. Phenomenal. And I love it. So thank you for the invite.
Absolutely. You all, I'm telling you, I am so excited about tonight's interview. You may have seen the post, but before we even get into that, I want you to take a moment, share this out with y'all know how I tell you, share it out with your community, share it out with your tribe. You are leaders of leaders and coaches of coaches. And most of all, there must be somebody, got to be somebody out there that's looking for a good book to read. Book Talks with Sandy, it is your platform that is for authors. It is for anthology book projects. And most of all, it is for you because you do want to have a book that is going to bring make an impact in your life, give you those tools, and just to have a good book to read. Don't you think, Alfred, that we just need to continue to read? Is that right?
100%. Reading is fundamental, right? And you get so many different stories and so many different impacts, right? Reading the various books. So yes, leaders are readers.
Yes, absolutely. Well, we're going to talk about our guest on tonight. I'm telling you what happened. Our guest tonight is an amazing young man. And I'm looking forward to him coming to our table on tonight. And you all listen, as I put the post out, if you have a son or a daughter or a family member that's incarcerated, Alfred, Lord called me into jail and prison ministry back in 2009. When I wanted to, I wanted to spread the gospel, and my pastor, whenever he put the assignment out to the ministers at the church, said, want you to go out to Harrison County and get your application and do the whole thing, right?
Yeah.
And not knowing, and I did that for 8 years, not knowing that was the space that God had called me into to be a blessing, to be a blessing to women that are incarcerated. And when I saw this post of this young man, and he was getting released from prison, not just local county jail, he was literally getting released from prison, and his video went viral. And I said, I gotta invite him onto my show because it was how he was greeted at the gate that touched my heart. It was how he was greeted at the gate. And I said, oh my goodness, there's so many individuals that are released from prison and from jail that don't have a support system.
They don't.
They go and do their time. They don't have a support system. And as I'm pulling up some information, share with the audience a little bit of who you are. You just retired from military. I want to go ahead and give you that opportunity. And while they're out sharing, and then we're going to go ahead and bring our guest on.
Sure. So, Alfred Wells, I am retired. Well, I had my retirement ceremony a few weeks ago. After 30 years of active federal military service in the United States Air Force, I'm retiring, transitioning over to a new chapter and a new life. I am a co-author of 2 anthologies: My Walk Past Hell, the men edition, visionary author Yolanda Jerry. The second is Cage Fight, Overcoming the Battles in Your Mind, by Sheila. It was an amazing opportunity to partner with those 2 ladies. Phenomenal opportunity, and from there it opened up a different world. Right? So books, talks, podcasts. It's been a phenomenal journey, right? And so now I read as much as I can and as often as I can, right? So thank you.
Okay, I'm on mute. Sorry about that. You have a clothing line. You want to share with
I
us
do. I
about your?
apologize. Yes. Clothing line, Alliance Tell Apparel. Here's my logo. What it is we're talking about failed, overcame, succeeded. Right? It's about what happens in your life. We all go through something. We all fail or fall down. The story is how you overcome and how you succeed, how you help others. And I think the guest here, I think he speaks that. He walks that. How he overcame and succeeded, and it is a phenomenal story, and I can't wait to speak to him. So for the brand, the lion represents power, pride, confidence, courage, right? Then there's a scar across his eye. Those are the battle scars of life. Those are what happens when you walk through your life, right? We all go through something, right? And we carry scars. Sometimes they're visible, sometimes they're all internal, right? And then the scars across the eye for you to remember to focus, see past those scars and focus on what's in front of you.
Yeah.
The sister that is showing that I'm ready for battle, right?
Right. I think that is amazing. Amazing. Tommy says that he says, love your clothing line. Yeah. And we've got the band going across the bottom. You all definitely, I want you all to reach out to Alfred about his clothing line, and definitely let's support him. We're waiting for our guests to go ahead and get connected so that he can come on. But Shonda, thank you so much. Congratulations. Thank you for your, she says, congratulations and thank you for your service. Yep,
thank you. I appreciate it.
And Brenda, we thank you for tuning in as always. Thank you. And Sharon, Alfred, I tell y'all, Brenda is my Brenda is like, I no longer am I going to say that she's my Apollo, but she is my book talks front seat, head of the table kind of girl. Yes, she is.
She's there all the time. She doesn't miss an episode, huh?
Exactly. All right, Mr. Christopher, I am ready. Yes, indeed. We're excited. We're anticipating. We want you to come on in. Yes, indeed. And you all, while he is coming in, I want you to know that Book Talks with Sandy, under the umbrella of Coffee Conversations, brought to you by Coffee Conversations with Sandy and Friends, can be found on YouTube. And so you can find us on our YouTube channel, which is Coffee Conversations with Sandy. And it's not Sandy and Friends. You'll just see Coffee Conversations with Sandy. Well, there he is. Thank you. Hi, Christopher. How you doing?
Hey, how's it going, guys?
It is going great. Listen, I'm bringing you up close. I want our audience to know I am really excited. Shonda says, good evening, Christopher. And yes, she says, hello. You all, I want to take a moment and introduce our guest on tonight. Those of you that are tuning in with Coffee Conversation or Book Talks with Sandy for the very first time, what we do, we interview authors. I've interviewed Alfred in the past on 2 occasions. He too is an author as well and an entrepreneur. But I came across this video and I want to take a moment and share this video with our audience. And if you'll just bear with me here for 1 second, I want to share this video that grabbed my attention. And this video here is going to, I'm telling you, it is going to impact your heart, is going to do something for you, okay? Give me just a moment here. I'm going to stretch it out so I can see it. And Christopher, how are you?
Doing well.
Good. And you're all the way in Oklahoma City. Alfred, have you ever been to Oklahoma?
Yes.
I have once. I passed through there. Oklahoma City, yeah.
Wow. Well, Christopher, I want you to I want you to meet my co-host, which is Alfred Wells Jr., who has served military, and he's also an author as well. And so I want to share with our audience just who you are, and then we're going to bring on your information. Okay, I want to share the audience. You are a published author, you're a speaker and entrepreneur. And as you've written this book, you also have co-authored another book with a contributing author, and we'll talk about that in just a moment. But I want to share my screen with my audience here. And so thank you. You're eating dinner, and I so apologize. Forgive me for interrupting your dinner there. But we're going
No
to go ahead
problem.
and share your screen here. Your info, share my screen. You all, thank you all for tuning in, y'all. We are Book Talks with Sandy tonight, y'all. I need you to see this. Just rain down, Lord, please let your love fall like rain. Just rain, Lord, please. Just rain down, Lord, please let your love just shower us. Just rain, Lord, please.
Hey, Sandy, you muted.
Thank you. I apologize. Mr. Christopher, thank you so much. That is how I found you. I found you on Reels. I'm playing around with Reels one night and I come across this video. This video has now hit 2 million hits, Reels, likes. What has it been like for you? Kind of bring us into where we are now.
It's honestly, it's been unbelievable because, just 7, 8 months ago, no one cared. I didn't have a voice, and I just never could imagine that things would be at this point. So I'm humbled by it, and I thank God. It really healed some things that were broken within me. Just to see the community support, and just to see, especially like from the black community and things like that.
Uh-huh.
I felt like I was kind of thrown away by society, and just to get that warm welcome home, I mean, it's honestly it's saving my life. I appreciate it. I
Well,
honestly
we
do.
listen, we are cheering you on. Let's kind of rewind a little bit. Because you share with me, and we have so many men, and especially black men, that are incarcerated for a, charge that you wouldn't think that would cause them to get as many years as they get. Tell us, you were charged with a possession of marijuana. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. And how many years did you serve?
5.5, almost 6 years.
Five and a half, almost 6 years
Okay.
for now something that has become legal.
Yep.
Alfred, you want to chime in?
Yeah, that's so things now are legalized and it's passing, right? It's just the U.S. passing laws that legalize this thing that you're incarcerated for 5.5 years, right? So I don't know the weight, the quantity. Not important. The important part is, man, you have a story. You have a story, and you're blessing people by just sharing your story and being vulnerable and being open. Um,
Mm-hmm.
Black
Mm-hmm.
men or men in general, they need to hear these things. They need to understand these things and dive into your book, right? And you have a phenomenal story. Continue to preach it. Continue to push it. And I'm going to push it on this end over here. It is the vulnerability that's really amazing to me.
I appreciate that.
Absolutely. Christopher, you have two books. The book, we're going to talk about both, but while you were incarcerated, you and I, we had a conversation, and this, one of the things I want our audience to hear, what the break, where you were, if you don't mind sharing, where you were mentally, and what you asked God. because it was that I said, oh my goodness, it was the pureness. So go ahead.
It was the point where I was in long-term segregation in Lawton, and I've been in there at this point for a year and a half, going on 2 years, and I was just going crazy, and I was just losing faith, and I challenged God. I told him, it's like, if you're real and you want me to walk with you, if you want me to believe in you, then you have to show yourself. You have to reveal yourself to me, because right now I'm just this close, this close from just checking out, and just seeing what
Yeah.
the next world brings. So, at that very moment, like the next day, he answered that call. I had some dreams that were going on, and I seen him, and he spoke to me, and I just had an overwhelming sense of like peace and calm. Like I wasn't free. I didn't have canteen. I was in sick, and nothing was going right in my life, but I still felt like that sense of peace and that security. Like, I just felt like he got me. And I
Uh-huh.
was actually happy, and he just led me to the vet, which led me to my co-author, which led to writing the book. It's just a whole line of events that all started from that one moment when I cried out and asked for him to reveal himself to me.
Yeah. Alfred, whenever he shared that part to me, here is what I was like, it was so pure.
Yeah.
And Christopher, I want to say that into our audience, Alfred, it was so pure to hear you share that. And I want to say that again. It was pure. You didn't have the rigid, religiosity or the religious thing behind it. What do I mean by that? Is that, we go to church, we go home, we go to church, we go home, we go to work, it's kind of like a routine, and
Routine.
it's like, yeah, we changed, we grabbed the word. But this young man, when he said that in an environment that, it's like, God, show me. Alfred, what do you think when he said that?
And I tell you, to say that you're in such a destitute situation, right? You're without, right? You don't have the creature comforts of life. It's not like you're going, like Sandy said, going through the routine or the ritual, as some may say, home, church, store, home, church, store, right? You had to really dig deep. And you hit me with you felt peace and calm. So you had peace and calm within chaos. That's that's powerful, right? That's the part that really hit me a second ago as I got chills. The peace and calm in chaos. When everything is blowing up behind you, you're calm, right? And that's what God does, right? That's what faith does. Once you get it and find it, and you hold on to it. Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah. And the peace of God, it says that the peace of God surpasses all of our understanding when we guard our heart. And there you were in a part of the facility, incarcerated, that you had a marijuana charge, but you were in there. You were in the population. What is that? And I did jail and prison ministry, and I can't even think of, it's long term, right? Much longer.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes, I was in there. I was at a maximum security prison because I had the marijuana case in Kansas and Oklahoma.
Uh-huh.
So it was max, and I was in there with guys for murder, robbery, rapes. I was in there with guys who was never coming home. You
Yeah,
know,
Wow.
all the cellmates that I had, I was always considered the short term.
Yeah.
Even though I spent 6 years, I was always considered the short term person.
He was always considered a short term. So you find this young man, God comes in, God does this miraculous, to me, that's a miracle. That's a miracle that you are sitting, eating dinner, and we are in our homes and we take those things so for granted. I don't minimize anything of what you're sharing and how God is just giving you. And the reason, there's so many people that need to hear your story, and not just so the fact of the incarcerated part, but what He did for you.
yeah,
And that is the hope that many mothers and fathers and wives, and I mean, as a mother and having a son, and then I can't get to him, or Tell us about the video. You're getting ready to know. I need to rewind a little bit because the book. How did the conversation come in about the book? Because you have begun writing.
Okay, well, while I was in said going through that situation, um, I was hearing a conversation in the vent between the people who are upstairs from me and downstairs from me.
Uh huh.
They were speaking about something positive, and it caught my attention. And the person who was talking was from a guy who has a long reputation as being someone who was crazy, who lost his mind, someone who would just fight and do all types of stuff on the pod and things like that. So when
Uh
I heard him
huh.
speaking through the vent, it surprised me because of his deep insight on life and his perspective. There was way more to this guy than what I could imagine. So I opened up to him and we started having a conversation and we exchanged a book between him and I. He had Millionaire Prisoner, written by Mike and Amigo, and I had Mind is the Master. And once we switched those books, we read those books and we switched back again. And our conversation just led to us starting our own project, like writing a recollection of our own events and things like that. And immediately we just started working on it because the whole time I was, 5.5 years in prison, I was like not providing for my kids, my mom, my family. I just felt unproductive. I felt like I was a waste and just I wanted nothing more than to do something to make my mom proud. So
Yeah.
the moment I read that book, and the book was written by another inmate who's serving a life term sentence, and he just shows you how you can make business legally from inside your cell, no matter what. He gives different avenues and stuff. So it just ignited the light bulb in my head. And then at that time, COVID was going on, and I
Uh
was
huh.
watching how the world was pivoting on the news, how people were doing Zoom calls like this and doing a lot of meetings and interactions like this. And I just thought to myself, like, you know what? It truly doesn't matter of your location. You can get things done. So I just started, you know, and I actually published conversations through the event while I was still in prison. You
Wow.
know,
Wow. So
That's
imagine
amazing.
you're in the dark, Alfred. Now
That,
you served.
yeah.
You served in Navy. Did you serve
Air
Navy?
Force.
You
Air
served Air
Force.
Force.
30 years.
So in the dark, sometimes in daylight, and sometimes, and you all are talking through the vent. And I even put it up. You all. It's called
Yeah.
Conversation through the vent. Is that it? Well, this is the author. It's Christopher Oakes and Brandon Nelson. And the book is called Conversations. So y'all did a lot of talking.
That's the part that
yeah,
grabbed me. Conversations through the vent, right? So you guys are communicating through the vent, having life touching conversations about that, right? I'm pretty sure, as you've touched on some things here, you're not providing, you're mentally down, depressed, suicidal ideations. It's easy to lose your mind and lose your way. So, what for me, the title says a lot, right? Conversations through the vent. Um, what kept you? What kept you till you got to that point to ask God, right? So there's some things that happened before. There were some years or some months or whatever that happened leading up to that. Um, what kept your faith?
honestly, it was my family, my mom, my sister, my kids. They
Yeah,
supported me and they loved me through that situation. Through like even when I gave up on myself, they kept riding me, they kept pushing me, they kept, with that support. Just letting me know that they were there. And then I just wanted nothing more than to get out and show them a different side. I wanted to show them that this is something of the past. So I just basically just how would you say fantasies of what life can be if I just stick it through, and then my family just being there with me through that situation. Like it was
yeah.
literally day to day.
I
And
tell
they
you,
never gave up.
it's the I have a saying. People are like timber, stronger the breeze, stronger the trees. Those trees are grounded. They don't fall over. They're grounded and rooted in family and people, right? And then you have the tree to a hard wind, the leaves blow away. Those are your fair weather friends. The leaves that stay, those are the ones that stay. It sounds like your family and those that held you down is what helped you stand up and help you be where you are right now, having dinner with us, talking on Zoom, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And what's so poetic about that video is my mom actually recorded the video, and everyone thinks that's my girlfriend in that video, but that's actually my little sister. So the very people who supported me from the beginning was the reason why the video even came about.
Man, that's it. So when I first saw it, I thought there was your significant other, your wife. I said, oh man, look, my man came out and uh dropped his boxes and ran and grabbed his wife, right? And for me, it spoke to family or ties, a relationship. Is what it spoke to me. That's what I saw. Um, you coming home and someone being there to greet you. There's a lot of people. I have relatives and family members that have been incarcerated and for a very long time, decades, right? And being able to for you to have the story that you have is touching, right? Um, so you're in there and you're dealing with battles of the mind, right? There's physical scars that heal and some go away, but those internal scars here and here, uh, those last, right? Writing your book help you process things, to help you. Is it helping you mentally and emotionally?
Yes, it was therapeutic writing it down, just getting it off my chest because, you know, I didn't just go like this. I went down. I went down so low to where it's a miracle that I'm here because I had a lot of hate in my heart. I had a lot of just ill feelings and bad thoughts, and like just to, I don't know, it seemed like God just broke me all the way down to the smallest fraction, and then He built me back up again. Because He literally walked me through that situation when I couldn't lean on my mom, I couldn't lean on my sister, I couldn't lean on friends, I couldn't depend on anybody but Him. He had me in a situation where I had nobody but Him and myself. And searching deep within myself is when I was able to find the answers to a lot of the questions that I had. And a lot of them was like, why? Why is this happening to me? How did I get in this situation? How can I make it out? And then, it's just God was speaking to me. We had grown such an intimate bond in that situation to where it's like I know it couldn't have been nothing but Him. Even
Absolutely.
this video going viral and everything out in the midst of me about to drop this book and this is everything that's going on. It's like He made a way when there wasn't a way. It's like I couldn't even see the step in front of me. I couldn't see the steps, but I just jumped out there and I was just kind of walking and He provided the steps as I was going along. And it's just such an amazing feeling.
That's phenomenal. That Alfred, wouldn't you agree, Mr. Christopher?
100%.
When you talk about that, you talk about the trust, and so many times that's what I was talking about. Is that your desire to live and God's help was so pure, and he did it, and that's what I'm celebrating, is that he loved you so much that he wanted you to tell just how good he is. One of the things I love and about you all, this book, for those of you that are tuning in to Book Talks with Sandy tonight, to me it's really like a special edition. I didn't plan to come on Tuesday night, and this was last week. I didn't have this on my schedule, and I saw this young man. Y'all, I was playing around with the reels, and I saw this young man coming out of the gates of a prison with a box, and he dropped it, and this young lady rushes up to him, and as you are hearing, his name is Christopher J. Oakes. He is out of Oklahoma City. He is an author that has published 2 books. He is also an entrepreneur. uh, the book is the co-author. There are 2 books. The book that we're in conversation about tonight, and my co-host, I want to thank him for being with me tonight, is Conversations Through the Vent. Uh, it's a glorious tale of redemption. And your co-author, Mr. Brandon Nelson, we want to acknowledge him tonight as well. What the caption says, it says, "What if I told you that you can find redemption and restore your faith from behind the bars. One of my mottos that whenever I knew God was calling, when God called me into jail and prison ministry and I began to see lives change, Alfred and Mr. Christopher, I would say this: Jesus will show up in the jail. Jesus will show up. Um, Conversations Through the Vent is a glorious tale of redemption. It is a story of two inmates struggling to conquer their own demons and do the unexpected, recreate themselves. Traveling different paths, they both face treachery, lies, backstabbing, tyranny on the edge of sanity, with the true urge to change. And that's the key. You all had the true urge to change. They independently fight their battles until fate allows them to cross paths. Realizing the power of righteousness and the love of God, Christopher and Brandon join forces to support each other through the most trying times of their young lives. Can a dark, dirty prison ventilation system provide them with the salvation they seek so fervently? Add this book to your cart. Go to Amazon. You can
Definitely.
get it from Christopher as well. But go to Amazon. That's what it's telling you, is because you want to have this book part of your library.
You need
You
it.
have, yes, and you're getting celebrities that have purchased your book. Tell us about that.
Yes, well, as the video was going viral and stuff, Michael B. Jordan liked it, and Ron Rico Lee, he actually purchased it and said he loves the story and he'll do anything that he could to support it. So, much respect and love to them guys. I appreciate you guys.
Yes. So you've got some, and there it is right there. You purchased your book, you acknowledged him. This is again, Hollywood is seeing you, everyday people are seeing you. You didn't ask for this. This is not what you asked for. And we know this. And I love the humility. How about you, Alfred?
100%. And that's what I was alluding to earlier when I said you were being vulnerable. You didn't jump out and go, "Hey, I'm going to do this because I want to, you know, make money."
Yeah.
That's in it. Don't get me wrong. Now that's going to be in there, right? But it sounds like you did it to release. You did it while you were in prison. You said you published while you're in prison, and I wrote that down. And that's amazing. You have people that have thoughts in their mind and never take action to do it. Right? Doubt kills more dreams. Right? More dreams than anything. So you published in prison. You wrote to release, to get things out of your mind, to help you with your depression, your suicidal thoughts, and like you said in the book, the backstabbing, the lies, the treachery, right? And you still kept a pen to paper, right?
Yeah.
That that's an amazing journey, amazing story, and most importantly, your family was there to hold you down. Man,
Yeah.
that's the thing.
Yeah, absolutely. Christopher, bring us a speed. We're going to speed fast forward because now you have these two books. And what is your professional effort? Wait till you hear this. This
I was going to ask that
audience,
earlier.
listen, tell us, what do you do professionally now outside of the books, and you're getting the radios, interviews. We're interviewing you here on Book Talk Community, but you're helping other people. What and we want to say hello to all of those. Go ahead, I'm gonna let you tell us what you do now.
I'm actually a case manager at the Mental Health Association of Oklahoma. So we help people struggling with mental health crisis, and we help homeless people get houses and stuff through vouchers and different housing options.
It's just amazing, and God allowed you to go through that, and you are. I'm pretty sure you're sensitive to those needs. I would think,
Yeah,
right?
yes, absolutely.
Man, that God uses us in different ways. Sometimes we go through situations so we can have a story to tell to help others later on, right?
Yeah.
Not
Absolutely.
in your story, you're connecting with people. They're like, you've walked through this. It wasn't just schooling. It wasn't, hey, I went to school, I came out, and I have the theory behind it. You have the application that goes along with it and experience, man. So, caseworker, a mental health facility. All
Yes.
right.
And
When he told me that, I was just like, "Go ahead." I'm sorry. I'm working behind the scenes anyway, so go ahead.
it's fine. And all of it to me was just another blessing from God because I felt like honestly my time was wasted. Like they threw me away for that time. But for me to be able to inspire and uplift other people, it just lets me know that that time wasn't for nothing. You know, like God actually had a plan, even during those times where I couldn't see it. He had me the whole time, and it's just like that's comforting to know that He never
God,
left my side.
God makes no mistakes. He makes no mistakes.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yes. Well, you have your other book. You're doing an event that is coming up this week um,
Yes,
in Oklahoma. So come on, you share. You've been on some radio. Those of you, and we're going to let people know how they can follow you and know more about you. And because we want to definitely follow your journey. And we're really excited. Your second book, which is called, it is called My Letter to My Baby Mama. Yes, and
yes.
we're gonna bring you closer. Yes, indeed. Let's bring you closer. Yeah, there it is. So
Okay.
tell
Letter to
us,
my baby mama.
yes, tell us about that book.
Yes, this book I actually wrote while I was still in there because it was getting close to time for me to come home from incarceration, and I was talking to my kids' mom, and they thought I was institutionalized, and they were concerned about me integrating back into my kids' lives. So I wanted to the only way I knew how to effectively communicate with them was to write it down because on the phone they can feed off my tone of voice or my body language or you know I tried every other tactic of communication to get through to them and the only one that worked was for me to write a letter and it manifested into a book because I went into full detail to describe just my journey of what I've been through versus where I'm at and versus what I'm trying to do when I get out. So the beautiful part of this book is not only did it help mend the relationship between me and my kids' moms and stuff like that, we actually now I'm in my kids' lives full time, and I was actually able to get them involved with the project, and they are the illustrators to this book. So both
That's
of my kids illustrated the pictures that are in this book, and they were able to be a part of the project with me. So that's very, very special.
yes, that
That is
sounds
amazing.
amazing. So,
Go ahead.
did you write before? Were
I'm
you have
sorry.
you always been a writer? Did you always jot down your thoughts? Did you always write, or this is something that you picked up
Honestly,
later on?
this was something that was completely unbeknown to me. It was it was the only voice that I had at the time. So I just used what I had, and just God just has a way to help you discover hidden talents.
Mm,
He does. He does.
that's good.
He
God
does.
has a way for you to discover the hidden talents. And there's a parable about that, but I'm not even gonna he get how the man, yeah, he gives him the 10 talents. Yes, I love it. I love it. And you took your talent that God gave you, and look what's happening. You're changing lives.
Yeah, you're touching
You're
people.
just,
So-
yes, yes,
Sometimes,
impacting.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead, go ahead.
Sometimes God strips us away of all the things that are distractions, right? And if He strips it away, and if you don't listen the first time, He strips something else away. And strip something else away because He has a purpose. He has something that He wants us to go do, something that we're supposed to do, right? So if you're not listening, He keeps talking to you until He strips everything away. He'll bring you to your knee when you need to be, right? And then He
I
speaks
felt
to you.
that. Oh, I felt that. That's exactly what happened. Whew. I felt that one.
All right, that's good. Definitely.
Wow, wow. And what made you? I want you to go further into what you're feeling when he just said that, Christopher.
Yes, because I've had chance after chance, and I just didn't see it. Until he put me in a situation where I had no choice but to hear him and to see him, where I had nothing left, no women, no cars, no nothing, no phone, no TV, no family, no anything. All I had was his voice, and all I had was him to turn to because I couldn't turn to anybody else. And
Mhm.
the only person who could have got me through that was God. I'm here today, so I know for a fact that He's real
He
because I would not
is.
have made it without Him. Would not.
Amen.
Amen. We both agree. Well, you've got an event that is coming up. And I'm going to look for the flyer while you tell us about what's going to happen this coming weekend. You're launching your book.
Yes. Okay. So a letter to my baby mama comes out Saturday, May 21st, and I'm gonna have R&B singer Trey Ward there to perform, and DJ Drop That Dope, and we're gonna just have a book release party and celebrate all the good
Nice.
that God's been doing in our lives, and it's gonna be an awesome time. If you're in the
Nice.
OKC area, please come out.
In Oklahoma City, boy, if I could take an airplane, I can take an airplane, but it's not on my schedule. But I would love to be there. I'm gonna be there in spirit. Can't wait to get my book. And listen, I am just excited. I do want you all to hang out. Y'all know that we are sponsored by Swag Her Magazine. And so before we continue our conversation, we want to hear from Swag Her Magazine, which is our sponsor. They can be found. You can find Swag Her Magazine. You can find them online. You can find them on Instagram. It is in print and in a digital format. And so we're going to hear from the editor in chief, Ms. Fancy of Swag Her Magazine.
Angela Custom. Greetings, all. It's Fancy, and I'm the award winning publisher and editor in chief of Swagger Magazine, which is an empowerment and lifestyle publication for the Black community. But did you guys know that we also double as a PR boutique? Yes, we strategically execute brand campaigns for Black women led businesses, coaches, authors, and girl bosses so that they can receive more visibility and establish themselves as an authority. We do so through a mix of PR, marketing, and branding. If you would like to learn more about our services, schedule a consult with us at swagger.net.
Thank you so much. That is our sponsor, Swag Her Magazine. It again is a media publishing company. So definitely you can find them on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. They're all over. And we're so excited and very thankful to be a part of the Swag Her family. Those of you that are joining me tonight, it is always my custom to ask our guest to give us the last words. But I am so thankful to have my guest host with me tonight, the phenomenal international best-selling author, yes, and business entrepreneur, has a clothing line, Mr. Alfred Wells Jr. joining me tonight. And thank you, thank you, thank you. And those of you that are watching, I want you to go to our YouTube channel and subscribe to our channel so that you will get the notifications when we're having amazing conversation and interviews with authors on our Book Talks with Sandy platform, such as our guest on tonight. This young man's story, Mr. Christopher J. Oakes, who is a two-time author as well as an entrepreneur, and shares his life changing story. And one of the things, as you all know, that we are a Christian platform, and to know what God is doing in this young man's life, it is just. It has really impacted me. And I am so thankful. I always say, both Mr. Alfred and Mr. Christopher, is that when I have guests on, God, I didn't know what to do or how to get my book out, but I made a commitment to God. that I will always have a space for authors. Never did I know that he would put such amazing people in my path. And I look at the quilt in my mind and in my spirit, and it's a quilt with all of you all, the many authors. Mr. Christopher, thank you for sharing your story and trusting what we do here. Mr. Alfred, thank you. And I give God all the glory. Audience, please share this. It is always my custom here at Book Talks with Sandy to yield back and allow our guest, whether they're a visionary author or a singlepreneur author, to come and share their heart. And we're going to step back now so that we can hear from the phenomenal, yes, an impactful man of God that we know that he's already doing, God's using him in a mighty way. And
Yes.
so we want to honor him on today. And we want you to hear his heart and let us know also how we can. And you all know we're going to do replays, and I want you to know how to get his book. And we want to honor the other young man who wrote this book, Conversations Between the Vents, or in the Vents. I want to make sure I get that right. But come on, if you will. And we're going to step back and just let you go ahead.
Yes. So Conversations Through the Vent was a book that I wrote while I was doing time in long-term segregation with my friend Brandon Nelson. I met him on the pod, and we ended up meeting again in long-term seg when I heard his voice through the vent. And back there, people go crazy. You know, people commit suicide. People talk to themselves. People go through all types of things because they're stripped away from every basic human interaction. Like, I remember just breaking down one time because I just realized it's been 4 years since I've heard a child laugh. It's been 3, 4 years since I've seen a flower. You know, just things like that. It just brought me to a point where I was depressed. And in that point, I cried out to God because I had nothing else to do. I had no other options left. And I just asked him, just like, if you're real, reveal yourself to me. And he did. He answered my challenge, and he showed up and he showed out. He came into my life and gave me peace. Like, even in the midst of the storm, he gave me peace. And he gave me a certain level of protection, a layer of protection that I couldn't even explain. I just felt protected. I felt that he had me. So from that point, I just kept going. He'll lead maybe with read this book, or reach out to this person, or whatever moves that he tells me to make. I just make them, and miraculously it all turns the workout. It all works out in the end. Because he's showing me time and time again he has this. As much as I try to put my spin on things, he's in ultimate control, and he shows me that. So after seeing it so many times, I had no choice but to submit to his will. And fact that the book is the fact that social media and going viral and stuff like that brought awareness and attention to this book. It just it's a blessing because it just shows me that my time wasn't for nothing. It shows me that I didn't go through 5.5 years for prison over marijuana for nothing. I mean, this is an issue that's being raised in this country. It's an issue that's being raised with a lot of kids out there, and for me to be able to give my testimony, and it possibly can change someone from going through what I went through, it was all worth it. And I just praise God that He's seen value in me to use me to help someone else, because I remember when I needed that help, and he delivered. So just to be able to pass it forward is just it's amazing, and it lets me feel like my life is worth it. It has some type of value, and that's why my mantra is everyone still holds value, because the same person who you see today is the same person who was thrown away a couple years ago. And it was seemingly that I didn't have value, but it's like I had the same value then as I do now, as well as anyone else. Even people who are sitting in prison right now, they still have value. You know, who knows what type of hidden treasure that they have within them. And the people who was able to bring it out of me was my family, my mom, my sister. You know, they, through the love and support, you know, they didn't give up on me when I was going through those trials and tribulations. So I urge you and I caution you, please don't give up on the next person who's going through the struggles, because everyone still holds value. Anyone can do this, not just me. Anyone can do this.
That was great. It was good. Everyone still holds value.
Everyone still holds value. Listen, you all have heard it tonight. I want to say hello to the amazing, phenomenal, yes, marketplace expert herself. I'm talking about, she has stopped in, had her show this evening, but marketplace expert, Coach Doreen L. Reed. Thank you so much for stopping through. I do see you. Thank you for coming through and your support. And as always, I'm just so full right now. I'm just so full. How can someone purchase your book, Mr. Christopher?
Oh yes, you can purchase this book or my first one at ChristopherJOakes.com. That's ChristopherJOakes.com.
Okay, ChristopherJOakes.com.
Yes, ma'am. And Conversations through the Vent is also available on Amazon and Barnes and Noble.
Okay,
Uh,
awesome,
this
awesome,
one will
awesome.
be available on Barnes and Nobles and Amazon starting Saturday. But you can get the pre-sale on my website at ChristopherJOakes.com.
Right. And you all, you do want to go to the website. It has all of the information. Um, I'm just, is it Christopher J. Oakes? I want to make sure that I got that right.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
ChristopherJOakes.com. Yes, ma'am.
Got it. Yes, 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 indeed, 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 indeed. So I want to share my screen on that. Well, listen, thank you so much. You
Yep.
took out time from your dinner tonight to just
Good
come
dinner.
and share with our audience. We're so, so appreciative. Those of you that are in the Oklahoma City area, yes, I need you to get your ticket.
Wow.
If you all that listen, you know somebody that's in that area. This is what I do. I challenge you, if you're within 60 to 120 miles, I need you to make your way to Oklahoma City to support this young man on
Yeah.
Saturday, May the 21st, his book launch, his release party. We are celebrating. There is a pre-sale tickets right now for $30, $75 for your VIP. And listen, you want to go and you want to support this young man. An entrepreneur. He's also a counselor for individuals that have mental illness or gone through that. He is certified. God has brought him and elevated him to the point to where he is certified to where he can help other young people
Yeah.
and whatever age, but young people, they need to be able to see themselves. Wouldn't you all agree? Okay, old people
Absolutely.
like me, I'm in my 60s. I'm a nana, I'm a grandmother, I'm a mother. I got adult children, but they want to see someone who they can relate to. All
Yeah.
right. So I applaud you. I support you. Listen, I am only a phone call away. Anytime you want to come on Book Talks with Sandy, you just say, Miss Sandy, I want to come on. I got something to tell your people.
Yes, ma'am. Absolutely.
Absolutely. You're part of the family now, son. And I just commend you. I applaud you. I support you. And Alfred, listen, I appreciate you.
Thank you. Thank you. It was amazing to meet Christopher, and we connected earlier on Facebook. He's a quick responder. I appreciate the connect, and just to talk to him and hear a portion of his story. Right. So
Absolutely.
so
Absolutely.
we'll stay in contact, Christopher. We'll stay connected.
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
Hey,
All
Sandy,
right.
before we
Yes.
go, I have to say
Yes.
thank you, thank you, thank you for this amazing opportunity to share the stage with you, to share the stage with Christopher. This is a blessing for me, and it was uplifting for me. So I want to say thank you for the opportunity. Right?
You're welcome. You're
Yes,
welcome.
same.
You are so welcome. Well, as always, you all listen. It's been a blast. It's been wonderful. Book Talks with Sandy. It is our platform for you, authors, anthology book projects, and most of all, what do I say that it is for you? And why do I say that? Because you just might be looking for a good book to read. As always, I tell you, you know that I love you. God bless, and you all have an amazing night. All right. Bye bye.